Welcome back to the channel everyone. This is Vikram and this is the all-new XUV 700 top of the line variant with all the bells and whistles. And before getting started, I'd like to thank Sriram and M N Motors for giving me this test car. If you want to check out any Mahindra car, do contact them. All their contact details are in the description below and you can see them on the screen right now. And without any delay, let's get started. So guys, this is the front aspect of the car, and here we have the key of the car with this new Mahindra logo, but rest of the key is just like any other Mahindra car. And over here we have the new Mahindra logo again, and vertical oriented grille. Radiator is exposed even though the car is overheating, I don't know why. And over here we have the ADAS panel. This is responsible for all that magic which the ADAS does: adaptive cruise control, emergency braking and all that stuff. I'll definitely show that to you guys. Over here we have amazing LED headlamps. Visibility is great, and LED DRLs as well. And over here we have fog lamps placed over the lower half of the bumper. And this is the front parking camera of the car, if you can see that. And coming to the side aspect of the car, design is totally revised. No similarity between the 700 and 500. Some of that is discontinued right now. And over here we have 235/60 R 18-inch wheels. I have actually seen a couple of 700s with 19-inch wheels as well. Not at all stock, definitely aftermarket. And the alloy design is very nice. It's simple but it looks very nice. Especially on this particular color, these alloys go super well. And coming to the rear tire, same size, same section, and this as well has a disc brake. That is why the braking performance is phenomenal. There was not even a single moment where I felt there could have been better brakes. That is how awesome the brakes are. And coming to the rear aspect of the car, we have the logo here again, rear parking camera, rear parking sensors on the bumper, and 700 badging, AX7. That is the variant of the car, top of the line variant. And L says luxury pack this comes with. I'll show you the boot of the car, which is definitely not so big as such. Just my bag and a couple of bottles. That's it, it's full. If you want to extend the boot space, you can do this. You can simply recline the rear seats or third row of seats. I'm not going to recline this because I'm going to sit there. And let me shut the boot and let me quickly get into the car. I'll show you a cool feature of the car. If I unlock the car, this is what happens. And if I want to open it, so once we get into the rear seat, there's a lot of space, and it's a very decent place to be in. Everything is very cool, calm and very comfortable as well. Of course, the under thigh support is not so well, but you can just relax or stretch your legs. And this particular seat is all the way behind, and this is how much space I still have to sit over here. Lot of knee room, lot of leg room, and headroom is infinite. So that is about the rear seat of the car. And over here we have an armrest with twin cup holders. That is again a very good thing. And we have proper AC vents in the second row, and in the third row as well we have AC vents, and that blow can be adjusted, which is a very cool thing as such. Now I'm going to be getting into the third row and show you guys. In order to get into the third row, this will topple. So I got into the third row, and there is actually decent amount of space in the third row as well. It is definitely better than the Safari and Alcazar. Not at all comparable. There is a lot of space. Even for me, I'll just put the seat back. Yeah, I have just put the seat back and there is still knee room remaining. Of course, the under thigh support is definitely poor, but at a place like this, at third row, under thigh support is definitely not something I would expect. And we have a proper handrest and cup holder. And as I said earlier, there is a AC control over here and two AC vents, one on this side and one on the other side as well. And we have a proper 12-volt charging socket over here as well. So it's a very comfortable place, even the third row of the XUV 700. So that brings us to the front seat of the car, which is even more comfortable than the rear seat, definitely, because for driving enthusiasts or car enthusiasts, this is definitely a driver's car, and this is definitely a fun to drive car. About that I'll talk while driving, but for now it's loaded with a lot of tech. First things first, we have electric adjust for the driver's side seat with memory function, 3 memory settings. And over here we have regular power window controls and ORVM controls. That's it about the door. Over here we have traction control button, and this is for the hill descent control and headlight leveler, of course. And coming to the cabin, it does feel very premium, especially because of this continuous screen treatment. Over here we have a 10.25-inch infotainment system or instrument cluster, and even the infotainment system is a 10.25-inch unit. Over here we have a lot of information. Currently it's in information mode. Actually, I'm kind of confused with these words, and I'll show you the other settings. In order to toggle through this menu, we have buttons over here, and these are the buttons for cruise control, and on the left side we have infotainment control. So currently it's showing me that the door is open, and over here we have the fuel information right now, and in order to toggle through this menu we need to press the button, and it's got a lot of other information like the drive info, settings. When we get into settings, we have all the ADAS stuff. I'll show you. This is the blind view monitor, this particular thing, and whenever I turn the signal on, this is what happens. This is the blind view monitor of the car, which is a very cool feature and a very useful feature as well. And a lot of other features like the TPMS, tire pressure monitoring system. And that brings us to the driver assistant, in which we have adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, smart pilot assist, and a lot of other ADAS features, which are very, very cool. Once we start driving, I'll show you guys all those ADAS features. And over here we have a driver's rear view monitor and a 360-degree parking camera, which has a very brilliant resolution, and colors are actually saturated and they look very, very nice. And over here we have AC controls, but all the information regarding AC will be shown on this screen itself. It's a 10.25-inch screen, and this has got a lot of features like the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. In fact, Apple CarPlay is wireless and it works seamlessly well. It's got a lot of other features as well. And over here we have these flight style controls for hazard light. This is the 360-degree parking camera button, and here we have the gear selector of the car. It's a 6-speed torque converter, which is a beautiful gearbox. I'll talk about this while driving. And obviously electronic parking brake, hill hold or auto hold function. Hill hold is actually over here, so this is the auto hold function. This is a manual control for this infotainment system. Over here it doesn't get any manual buttons or rotary knobs to give that clean appearance, but over here we have a proper rotary knob for the volume, and this even moves as such in order to toggle through the menu. And here we have various other buttons in order to pick up and end calls and all that stuff. And over here we have two cup holders, and if I open this, this particular storage space is cooled, and we have a slot to put in a key as well. So over here we have a button to open the glove box, which is decent size. It's not massive, but it has got a book holder as well over here, so lot of storage and lot of practicality. And my all-time favorite feature of this car is definitely this sunroof. It's a massive panoramic sunroof, and it does open all the way till here. I'll show that to you guys as well. So this is in fact one of the widest opening sunroofs in the segment. So this particular thing is making a little bit noise while opening and closing. Apart from that, I didn't find any issues with the quality. In fact, over here we have proper soft touch material, and these are hard plastics of course, but this is soft touch material. And on the door, this is a soft touch material, and there's that premium feel to the car. Look at the cabin, man, it's damn premium. It looks very nice and beautiful. Coming to the sound system, this car has got 12 speaker Sony audio system, a lot of speakers, and the audio quality is great. In fact, Tata cars come with Harman Kardon audio system, but this as well feels almost same. But Tata claims that Harman Kardon has more bass, but in real life we just can't differentiate between them. So I guess it's time to drive this beautiful car, and I'll talk about the driving feel of it, and I'll demonstrate all the ADAS features. So guys, I'm currently driving the Mahindra XUV 700 petrol automatic. So first impressions, it's very smooth. Initially when the car was idling, there are some amount of vibrations here and there, but once we get going, it is damn smooth. It is butter smooth. When I say smooth, it reminds me of the gearbox. It's got a 6-speed torque converter gearbox, and the gearbox as well is so smooth that I initially thought it was a CVT, but it's a 6-speed torque converter, and the shifts are so seamless that you don't even realize whenever the gearbox shifts. That is how smooth the gearbox is. But there is no compromise in the performance whatsoever. It's got a 2-liter turbo petrol engine that produces 200 PS of power and 380 Newton meters of torque, and this torque converter gearbox perfectly syncs with the engine, and whenever you throttle the car, that is what happens. it literally pushes you back into the seat. That is how torquey the car is. Right from 1500 rpm till somewhere around 4000 rpm, there's a lot of torque in between the rev band, and this being a petrol engine, it puts down all that torque very smoothly and very subtly, and it does have a lot of torque. You can literally feel all that torque in your seat. And coming to the tech, it's loaded. This particular car is loaded with a lot of tech and safety features as well. It's got a lot of airbags and amazing safety features like cornering ABS, EBD and all that stuff. It even got hill descent control, auto hold, traction control and everything, all the bells and whistles. So guys, I'm currently gonna show you guys some cool ADAS features of the XUV 700. Currently I'm in normal drive mode, in automatic mode actually, and everything's turned on, all the bells and whistles, emergency braking, lane keep assist and all that stuff. So I have turned the cruise control on, adaptive cruise control. So I have put it at 50 or 60 kmph currently, and I've left the steering wheel. It kind of detected the lane markings and it's correcting the lane all by itself. I'm not at all touching the steering wheel, as you can see right now. And whenever it encounters a vehicle in the straight path or ahead of it, it kind of slows down, and I have increased it to 60 kmph. As you can see, I'm currently deviating from the lane, but the car is self-correcting itself. And as you can see, at the moment it saw a vehicle ahead of it, it would brake all by itself. And it's asking me to put my hands on the steering wheel. That's a safety feature as such. So as you can see, it kind of detected a vehicle ahead and it's slowing down all by itself. I'm not even braking whatsoever. I didn't put my leg at all on the brake. It completely stopped the vehicle, and I still didn't put my leg on the brake. The vehicle has completely come to a halt, and now it's driving all by itself. I'm literally doing nothing, and so it's kind of intimidating to leave everything on its own, because these things are not totally accurate. They are not 100% accurate. That's because in real world, lane markings and all that stuff is not perfect, right? But in ideal testing conditions on test tracks, they work perfectly well. And it's asking me to put my hands on the steering wheel again. That is a safety feature, because who knows, we might fall asleep by leaving the car all by itself. But as I said earlier, lane markings kind of disappeared on the road. At that situation, car gets kind of confused. Apart from that, in idle conditions, it works absolutely brilliant. And as you can see, it is kind of giving me an indication, and even it's braking all by itself. I'm not even braking whatsoever. The car has come to a total halt from 60 kmph all by itself, and as you can still see, my leg is not on the brake whatsoever. And if I put a signal, the auto braking kind of shuts down until I take this turn. It has actually shut down, I guess. No, it's still active. The auto braking is still active, but it's not very precise like what it does on the straight road. That's because there are no lane markings on while we take a U-turn, right? So again, we took a turn, and I'm gonna leave the car in cruise again. So adaptive cruise control got active, and as you can see, I'm gonna leave the car again all by itself. It's correcting the lane. Actually, the cruise got reset to 30 kmph. I'm going to reset it to 60. It's on 60, and I left the car all by itself. Let's test its braking once again. The braking is very cool actually. The auto braking or emergency braking is super fine, but it's again asking me to put my hands. For every 10-15 seconds, it does ask you to put your hands on the steering wheel. As I said, who knows, we might fall asleep by leaving the car all by itself. So that's a safety feature. See, there's a curve over here, and I'm leaving the car. It's kind of taking the curve, which is very, very cool. As you can see, the steering is kind of tilting towards the left side, and it's again self-centering. But in situations like these, the car kind of gets confused because it won't imagine that someone will kind of overtake you so rashly. As you can see, it is detecting vehicles ahead of us, and it kind of slows down a bit. But in situations like these in India, driving conditions are not at all ideal, so the car kind of gets confused. Who knows, for next generations and next upgrades, that might even get better. But in ideal driving conditions, this works like a champ. The autonomous driving works like a champ. As you can see, the cruise is currently at 60 kmph, and it kind of detected a vehicle ahead, and it's braking. Initially, I thought, before driving this car, I thought it would only slow down the car, but it is getting the car completely into a halt, as you saw previously. That is something so cool. But in India, on some roads, till some point, the markings would be fine. But at some point, if the markings kind of completely disappear, the car definitely struggles. The ADAS thing kind of struggles. Apart from that, in ideal driving conditions, in normal highways like these, car works like a champ. This ADAS thing is very nice. I didn't expect it to be so better. There are definitely some errors here and there when we tested it extensively in the city, but on highways like these, this worked like very brilliantly. And one more thing with this ADAS is that it only looks forward. It kind of brakes when there's something ahead of you, but it won't look behind you. That is something you just need to be conscious about. That's because when we are manually braking a car, we would definitely see all the directions, but this particular thing, it's a computer, right? So I don't think it does look backside. We experienced that a couple of times. It was panic braking. The car was when the person ahead of us braked the car suddenly. This car as well took panic braking. That is something you just need to be cautious about. Apart from that, the ADAS works very nice. I'm again setting it to 50. No, I'll keep it at 60 this time, and we'll leave the car. Yeah, now it's working fine. You know, at some situations where the right side lane is covered in dirt or something, car is kind of struggling with that. But when the lanes are clear, as you can see, it's turning all by itself. It's taking the turn all by itself. Even while turning the car manually, it gives a lot of feedback from the steering wheel. Initially, in low speeds, the steering wheel is kind of light, which is definitely a good thing for a car of this size and weight. It weighs over a ton. Oh, it weighs almost 2 tons. So it won't let you feel all that weight on the steering wheel. It's a very light steering wheel at low speeds. But once you pick up the speeds, the steering wheel as well weighs decently good. And situations like these, ADAS won't imagine, right? Human brain definitely does imagine that, but ADAS, as of now, it's not something we can expect it to do. But in future generations, who knows, that might even happen with the help of GPS or whatever. So there is still scope for improvement in terms of ADAS, but in terms of drive quality, in terms of tech, and in terms of the power, this is a brilliant car. So guys, this is my review of the XUV 700 petrol automatic. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video real soon. Until then, this is Vikram signing off.